3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
All right, welcome to Roots of Reality. I'm your host, Ben Bauman, and today's topic is, does money rule the world? So since the rise of civilization and the adoption of money several thousand years ago, human societies have struggled with its corrupting influence. However, simultaneously, money has made complex civilizations possible with the ability to pay armies, build roads, and fund governments. At the same time, though, it's also opened the door to something more dangerous. The ability for wealth to distort who holds power and whose interests get served. Thus, for thousands of years, since the dawn of democracy, free societies have been built on the idea that money should not dominate public life. Yet they have also consistently battled the influence of wealth. For example, about 2,500 years ago, in ancient Athens, democracy merged with the belief that citizens, not just the wealthy, should decide public affairs. Yet even there, affluent citizens could fund public works and gain prestige. Additionally, more than 2,000 years ago, during the Roman Republic, elite politicians spent enormous sums on games, public buildings, and favors to secure office, contributing to political imbalance and among many factors to the eventual fall of the Republic itself. And unfortunately, since the ancient democracies, this struggle has also continued into the modern age. It was central to the founding of the United States of America nearly 250 years ago, a country based on the belief that political power should come from citizens, not wealth. But even in American history, money has repeatedly tested that principle, the Gilded Age, to ongoing political campaign finance battles from the 1900s to today. Yet many observers of modern politics believe that the United States faces one of the most extreme concentrations of money-driven influence in its political system's history today. For example, in 2025, right now, going into 2026, under President Donald Trump's second term, the intersection of political power and personal wealth has become increasingly visible. Trump and his family have maintained and expanded private business interests while in office, most notably through ventures tied to media, cryptocurrency, and broader investment initiatives. Trump's reported stake in ventures like Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social, has been tied to major market moves, including an ongoing attempt for an all-stock merger with TAE Technologies in a deal valued at more than $6 billion that aims to combine a social media platform with nuclear fusion energy development. So this combination of public office and ongoing private financial expansion on a massive scale is really historically unprecedented in modern American politics and in American history in general, raising significant ethical questions about how wealth, governance, and influence intersect today. At the same time, wealth has also shaped American culture from the outside of the political arena. For example, over the past decade, the Saudi Arabian monarchy, one of the world's wealthiest and most authoritarian regimes on the planet, has invested heavily in American and global sports and entertainment, spending billions on ventures like Live Golf, hosting major WWE wrestling events, and involvement in gaming media like EA Sports, the video game franchise that makes the FC games, formerly known as the FIFA games, as well as the NHL games, showing how foreign government money can bring cultural influence as readily as political influence. Additionally, Saudi Arabia has also struck deals with two of the most popular athletes on the planet, such as Cristiano Ronaldo for their soccer league and Lionel Messi as their tourism ambassador. Both were widely popular and influential culturally in America and around the world. But it doesn't stop there, because they've also garnered influence with very famous American comedians such as Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, and more for their comedy festival, which recently took place in October. So beyond this, though, within the United States, the rise of social media and big tech money over the past 15 years has also reshaped influence itself, because we live in an attention economy where platforms reward clicks, outrage, and controversy, often translating digital visibility into real-world profits, making traditional American values like freedom, equality, critical thinking, evidence, civic responsibility, and just basic morality become secondary to the pursuit of wealth, views, and engagement, and this just crazed obsession with being famous for being famous. So many of the figures associated with this shift illustrate the connection between attention, profit, and influence, whether they're public intellectual figures like Bari Weiss, the controversial media figure who built a substantial following through her anti-woke cultural commentary and now happens to serve as the editor-in-chief of the new Trump-backed ownership group of CBS News, reflecting how media influence and institutional power can intersect with controversy and public attention. Then there is Gen Z influencer Jake Paul, a Trump endorser and social media personality turned professional boxer who routinely monetizes conflict, controversy, and spectacle for views and sponsorships, as well as the famous podcaster and comedian Joe Rogan, another Trump endorser with one of the largest podcast audiences globally, earning substantial revenue by spotlighting extreme opinions and mainstreaming figures who regularly promote various conspiracy theories. So Weiss, Paul, and Rogan all built their careers off of this social media ecosystem, which is built around polarizing American society and getting people outraged at each other and addicted to their platforms. And these three figures all, were opportunists with this ecosystem and took advantage of it for their own personal gain to build their brands. But then we also have to think about the big tech leaders themselves, such as Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Meta, which owns Instagram and Facebook, who engineered platforms where engagement and the advertising dollars it generates often reward sensational content over civic discourse, with little regard to the health of American democracy, as well as Elon Musk, another billionaire tech entrepreneur who, not too long ago bought X, formerly known as Twitter. He also runs other ventures which give him influence over digital infrastructure and markets. And he has demonstrated political impact as well, being a key ally of Trump during the 2024 election. He regularly promotes conspiracy theories, and he's turned, the X platform, which has always had flaws, into a major echo chamber promoting lots of far-right conspiracy theories. And after a period of tension with Trump earlier in 2025, has gone back to helping Trump align candidates significantly with financial support for the 2026 midterm elections, showing that his connection to the Trump administration continues. So this all begs the question, how did we get here? How did America, which was once admired for its dedication to democratic ideals and its belief that success came from contribution rather than controversy and money hoarding, how did this country become a place where attention, wealth, and profit outweigh civic responsibility? How do we become a culture that regularly empowers opportunists who have no interest in what is best for American society as a whole? Well, there's lots of different factors at play, which I've already referenced some of them. But one pivotal moment was the Supreme Court decision in Citizens United versus FEC in 2010, which equated independent political spending with protected speech and allowed corporations and wealthy donors to pour unprecedented sums of money into elections. And since then, money has flooded political campaigns through super PACs and dark money organizations, accelerating polarization and weakening faith in democratic institutions. This has helped drive a lack of regulation on many forms of profiteering across American society, thus enabling these opportunist individuals or corporations to expand their net worth while democratic norms and economic inequality continue to get worse. Because we have elected various politicians who literally came to office due to the fact that corporate money is so heavily ingrained in our political system. And as a result, you naturally will get a number of politicians that have little interest in regulating the corporate influence that put them in power in the first place. Thus, they're less likely to try to regulate all these people that are building, brands that are based around cultish thinking who promote all these divisive things in society, who regularly court controversy and polarization, and who are really public personas that don't have much interest in making America better, but rather making themselves wealthier. Yet, America does not have to be this way. Money does not have to consume our republic, and we, the people of the country, together can resist the divide and conquer strategies used by those who seek to take advantage of us. But it ultimately requires enough people recognizing the problem and being educated enough about it to do something to stop it. So here we are in this moment, and we have to figure out, what will Americans do about the role of money and its impact on our society? Will the United States be a country that pushes back to finally reclaim the civic responsibility that was once touted as a core American value? Or will the slide towards oligarchy continue, where you eventually have a country that resembles more like Russia versus traditionally what America was? So it's a critical moment in American history. It's a critical moment in world history, given the influence of America around the world. And it's a critical moment for just, what is ethics today in the world. So with that, as always, remember, billions of years led to you. So make the most of it.